So Mike and Priscilla were saved, Callum and Molly were dumped, rightfully so, and they have their first dates.
Mike and Priscilla.
Hey guys, it's Muradi. Hope you guys are doing well today. If you haven't already, click that button for daily and consistent content. Head over to my Instagram, Murad_Murali. Subscribe to my podcast, please. I would appreciate it. Buy some merch if you guys want to, and let's get into this particular episode. Now it's come to this particular time of Love Island for each one of these seasons where we are getting the slow, emotional, soppy kind of episodes where there's not that much drama going on and it becomes quite boring, quite slow, the narratives. Now boring is subjective because you could find these episodes quite enjoyable. I loved the fact that Mike and Priscilla had the best date when it came to this episode, because we had Paige and Finley in the damn grass. We had Ched and Jess, you know, in a very windy situation with like fire and some dead meat. But we had, you know, Priscilla and Mike who had this safari journey. We saw beautiful scenes. We saw them all together looking at animals. They got scared. I like the fact that Mike asked Priscilla to be his girlfriend in private. It wasn't really a situation where everybody was around and looking and cheerful and waiting and anticipating. I like the fact that it was in private. That was quite nice to see. It's also nice to see that, you know, these two have a sense of calmness because, you know, Priscilla does pattern him when she feels like she needs to pattern him, but not in a rude kind of way, not in a way of dominance or authority, but just to let you know that you have disrespected me. I don't appreciate it. Find out why you do and let me know. And you know, Mike is somebody who also is a good communicator and listener, so these two are very compatible because he's able to listen and then communicate effectively when Priscilla tells him what is exactly wrong, which we've seen in previous episodes. But I'm very glad that they were saved when it came to this dumping. I just want to get into their date first because that was just a very enjoyable date to see. But when it comes to the dumping now, it was very, you know, weird to see Paige choose to not dump the other couple, like not dump Callum and Molly, because surely you'd want to dump Callum because he dumped your best friend. I don't understand that. But then if you look at the other perspective, you know, he's seen. If you look at the other perspective, he has, you know, he doesn't want, like, because of the affiliation story that Finn has with Callum as well, and to see how, you know, how strong they are. Perhaps from that perspective, he would want, you know, them to stay because. I can understand, like, because Paige lost her best friend on the show. Paige wouldn't want Finn to lose his best friend on the show, so I can see that perspective as well. But to be honest with you, from our perspective, it definitely did look like that Priscilla and Mike were the strongest couple. I feel like, you know, the lack of presence when it comes to Shauna massively depreciates the value of Callum and Molly. Like, what are they there for? They were there with Shauna to help her be more reactive, be more emotional, include her, the emotional chats between Callum and Shauna, cry, and so forth, intense stuff. Now that Shauna has left the villa, these two don't theoretically need to be there. They have played their part when it comes to this particular show. They have played their part.
I get to leave with Molly, so I'm even more excited.
He's crying.
I'm not crying.
I've loved every single second of it. Everyone in there has been amazing, and I've came and got what I wanted anyway. So
I feel like overall Molly was a nice girl. She was something that we could get along with, something that was, like, you know, just very sweet in general. But I feel like their time came. They've played their characters, and it's time to then, you know, just exit the villa. And we have Paige and Finley going on their date, and, you know, they're falling for each other and so forth, which is quite nice to see. And we have Ched and Jess. Ched's obviously growing on me massively. I feel like Jess is somebody who I like, but I'm not in love with her. I don't really like her that much. But Ched is somebody that really is growing on me. And I like his one-liners. I like how he was joking around here and there. I feel like some of their banter conversations just came off quite dry to me, personally speaking. I just feel like I wasn't really into their banter when they were all four together, whatever. But at the same time, you know, it's just that time now where everybody's just a bit soppy. I feel like a lot of these couples either feel personally inclined because for competition reasons, or the producers are telling them to feel like they need to be exclusive. They need to be asking for relationships of girlfriend and boyfriend, whether they've known each other for this 2-3 weeks or whatever. And I feel like, okay, 3 weeks, you know, cool, Mike and Priscilla, I'm here for them because I feel like these two, I want them to go far. But like, I don't see why Ched and Jess have to be exclusive. Like, I don't really see why that needs to take place. I don't understand. Mike and Priscilla, I feel like we've just seen more of them maybe, so that's why I'm not really upset at them being girlfriend and boyfriend. Perhaps, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised now if Demi and Luke end up giving this exclusive. Anyhow, one of them asks the other, can you be my girlfriend and boyfriend? It hasn't even been a week for them. You can just see how that just would irritate me, because I feel like it just comes up very forced, where they feel like they have to have this label. They have to have this label of significance, or whether you are exclusive, you are my boyfriend or my girlfriend, in order to try and heighten and fast track your position in this villa and in this competition. And I feel like you just don't need to do that. It doesn't need to take place. I feel like if you guys are close enough and we can see that you guys are close enough, we can see that you guys are doing well, have great chemistry, are getting on perfectly well, then that's okay. We don't need you to have these labels of girlfriend and boyfriends and this. It's nice to see sometimes, and it's soppy and it's cute, but it's not by force. You don't have to do it. I just genuinely feel like you just don't have to. I don't think Amber and Greg asked each other to be each other's girlfriends and boyfriends before this situation, because only a 2-week situation, similar to Priscilla and Mike and Ched and Jess. That was like a two to 3 week situation happening. I don't feel like it's quantifiable to call yourself girlfriend and boyfriend, regardless of how much time you spend in there together. I just don't really see it. I'm not mad at it when it comes to Priscilla and Mike, maybe because we've seen more of them to a weird extent we have in the last couple of days, and I feel like these two just suit together and I stand them completely. But still, for me, Shanice and Luke T, I feel like I'd want to win. They didn't get that much airtime this episode. They didn't have their date, which I assume will be carried on to the next episode. But for me, Shanice and Luke T are definitely going to win. I'd want them to win the competition. I'd want this to happen. This season overall has, for me, been very dead. It just happily has. Whether I know people in there or not, the season has just been dead. That's just facts are facts. The character developments have been quite slow. The drama has, been very fast paced and then quickly ends. We have bombshells that come in that are absolutely useless. We have bombshells that have come into the villa that, play a massive role but then quickly depreciate within absolute seconds. We have Casa Amor, which was absolutely anticlimactic. We had at least 3 to 4 islanders who actually were good casting, but the rest definitely weren't. We had tasks that were absolutely boring, that came into the villa that we just did not need. It was absolutely pointless. We had so many of these, friendship couples to try to stay in the villa and maintain themselves that made absolutely no sense at all. And we had this kind of lack of chemistry from a lot of these islanders. They weren't really liking each other in that sense. And again, no drama at all. Lest we forget, when Love Island summer ended, I kept saying to you guys, Love Island isn't ended, it's not ended. Why? Because they were all beefing each other when the show ended. They were throwing so much shade at each other. They were beefing each other. It was just so much madness. And I was here every day reporting on it as if the show didn't end. But I feel like with this season, once it ends, it's going to end. Once it ends, it's going to just, end. And I just feel like hopefully for the next season, which I believe they will bring back, because this show makes way too much money for them to cancel it. I feel like I want to get into that when it comes to my podcast, if they should cancel Love Island. I feel like that in itself will be a very interesting topic of conversation, so I will bring that to my podcast later on tonight and early on the hours in the morning for you guys. But I just feel like, for the summer season, hopefully they said they're going to make it the same amount of time for the winter season, and I just feel like they should not do that, because if you make it so short, we're going to just believe that they're forcing these relationships just to make us think something, and we're not dumb as a public, we're not dumb as an audience. I feel like the summer season was the best, was the highest rated viewed season ever, so stick to that formula and keep it going. And what they should have done for this particular segment, they should have made it like a Made in Chelsea reality type-esque show, where they were showing us where the Love Islanders are now. Like, where are they? What are they doing? Chase them up, and then put them in situations where they meet each other. Stuff like that. Because we see Olivia Atwood on the Always Essex, she's beefing people and everything. Imagine she was beefing other islanders on a reality type show like that, and that would have been nice for us to see in this coming winter. Like, that would have been something nice. If you give us the same formula and you're shoving it down our throats, it becomes oversaturation, and then we're just like, we've already seen this again, we don't want to see it now, and you're just going to quickly kill your show. I don't know who thought Winter Love Island would be a great idea. I don't know what producers, what team, what marketing, who on your side, ITV, thought that this would be a really good idea. I don't understand, because now it feels like it's become like a task, a chore for me, especially because if I was not reviewing this show, I most likely will not be watching the latter half of the season. Like, I genuinely will not be watching it if I do not have any enjoyment in creating content to put out to you guys for my subscribers, which I like doing. That's the part that I like, to where I review stuff and put it out to you guys and connecting to you guys in that way. I enjoy doing that. Which is why I carry on with these reviews. But if I was no reviewer and wasn't reviewing stuff, then best believe I would not be watching the season, because I just feel like it's just like I don't know, it's just bland from day one to not day one, but like from the first couple of weeks or so to now. You think it would pick up, but it hasn't, and that's just the truth. I'm not trying to, bash the kind of like show. This particular episode was so dead that I'm reviewing stuff that doesn't even relate to this episode. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me get back on track. These dates were cute. Paige and Finley will get to the final. Shanice and Lutia will get to the final. The top 4, I feel like it should be Mike and Priscilla. I don't know if Luke and Demi will, because they're the newer, fresh couple, and it could be Ched and Jess. So I feel like that could be the final 4. But we never know. We never know what goes on. Let me know what your thoughts are when it comes to this particular review. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. Did you guys like this review? Did you guys like this particular, well, half of it wasn't even related to the damn episode. Do subscribe, let me know, and please do subscribe to my podcast, rate and review. I'd really, really appreciate it. Please go and do that. It's on Apple, it's on the Acast app, it's on Spotify, and wherever you guys are listening to your podcast. Let me know what your thoughts are when it comes to this episode, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.